Hey everyone, it's Annette from Annette's Acre. It's Saturday, March 21st. How you doing? Welcome to my my channel here, and this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. So it's obviously been since January. It's been kind of a hectic 2020 so far. As I mentioned, I'm gonna do life in 30 seconds or less. As I mentioned in my January video, job stuff was kind of in turmoil for all of us here at the house. Well, 2/3 of us are sorted out well. My son has settled in at a law firm, which is awesome. He's doing well there. And then I changed to a new consulting company at the end of January and started a new project on the East Coast the first week of February. So I actually traveled back to back for 6 weeks to Charlotte, North Carolina to start my new gig and get settled with a brand new team, brand new company. It's a great team, great project. I'm still doing consulting, more business related though, more process related for a large financial institution here in the US and, well, actually worldwide. But so far so good. I was scheduled to go 6 weeks back to back and then have at least a week home and then start traveling at least every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Obviously that has changed a little bit. I was home this week. I completed my 6 weeks. I was home this week, but I don't know when I'm going to travel back to Charlotte, but that's fine. I can work remote. It's not a big deal. It's just a lot of meetings, which is fine. So anyway, that's why, that's the delay. And for many weekends, I was coming home on Friday afternoon and leaving out again on Sunday. So I was not home very often. I was not home very much during those 6 weeks. So this, unfortunately, kind of the FlossTube and recording stuff fell to the bottom of the priority list. Things like, laundry moved way up to the top. Yeah. So it kind of messed with our home schedule. Mike is still traveling a little bit with our my old company. He's still there, and he was still doing some travel to Dallas. So it made for a very hectic couple of months, and time just flew by for us. So the good news though is that because I was on 4-hour flights twice a week, I actually did a lot of stitching on the plane. So I've got 8 finishes to show you that I've done so far this year, plus a number of whips that I've worked on, and I started a few things in March. So that's what I've got. So let's get going. So first up, let's do the finishes. So because being on the plane, obviously smalls are a lot easier to work on than larger pieces. So I did a number of small projects. So the first one, this is Mill Hill swimsuit. She's all actually finished and magneted and ready to go. So that was one. And these are in no particular order. Christmas palm, just an ornament. The little flamingo. Watermelon. And I'll felt and magnet all of these to go on my fridge. Aries. And then Mummy. He's so cute. I have almost all of the, or this might have been the last of the Halloween character magnets that I needed to do. So he's now done. Alright. I had one super big finish, which I was really close in the last video, but now it's all done. This is Teresa Wensler's Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is complete. This is on 25 count Lugana 1/1. I started it more years ago than I can remember, but now it's done. So, all done. Once I get going, it didn't take much to finish. the other thing that I've done, so in January I had my annual trip to Vegas with a group of friends. One of my very close friends is a Just Nan collector, and she's been working, and she's from Canada, and she's been working very hard to complete her Just Nan collection. And she stayed here with me for a day before and a day after our weekend in Vegas. So one of the things that she did was kind of go through my Just Nan charts, and I said, whatever you want that will complete your collection, let's, go ahead. So I'm generous. I'm a generous soul. So there were a couple of things in there. I mean, there were a few charts and small charts that she took away, but then there are a couple of kits that I had that were exclusives, and so basically those got bumped way up on my start list so that ultimately I can pass them on to her so she can do them as well. So the first one that I actually started and finished in the month, it was in January. I have exact dates, but do you really care? I mean, really. Was the Trick or Treat, the Ort box, so Trick O-R Treat. So I've got all the stitching done. So here it is. It's all ready to be assembled. And I have the finishing kit, everything. This was an exclusive from the Silver Needle. So all the stitching's done, so I just need I'll finish it up at some point, and then I can pass on the stuff to her. And then the other finish that I have was actually, I started last Friday the 13th. This is my Friday the 13th start. Plum Street Samplers, Earthly Treasures. I got this chart and actually got the whole thing kitted from Diana at It Is Kismet as part of one of her bag sales late last year. She gave away this kitted piece to someone that had bought a bag, and I bought a bag, so I got the piece. I got the kit. So and I finished it last night. So here it is. This is in DMC. It's on a Dames of the Needle linen in shroom juice. This stuff, color is, it's a lot warmer than what the camera is showing you right now. This linen is amazing. It's thick. It's got a wonderful hand. I love it. I love it. And now I'm on the hunt for more Dames of the Needle and more Tombstone Angels, because this is my first Tombstone Angel chart and I love it. So thank you, Diana, for enabling this, and I really, really enjoyed working on it. And like I said, I started it last Friday and I finished it last night. So 6 days total of stitching. So those are all the finishes that I've had so far this year. I have started a few things, but I have the whip pile, so I'll just tell you if I started it and when. First thing I have is right here. So interestingly, when I went to Vegas, of course we went to Stitcher's Paradise because that's what we do all the time, every year. The only thing I bought at Stitcher's Paradise were threads, and the threads that I bought were for this piece, because this piece needs a lot of threads. Let's see if I can. Okay, so this is my start on Blackbird Designs Anniversaries of the Heart. So this is Snow Garden is the January piece, and so here's my January right there. That's my beginning of January. This is on Picture This Plus Oaken 40 count. So I'm doing it all on one piece of fabric, and there it is. So that's my start on Snow Garden, and that was just like maybe a day and a half, right? Not a huge amount. So the other piece that I showed you in the last video that I started on January 1st was Berry Time from Blackbird Designs. I put in a couple, 3 more days on Berry Time. So here's where we're at. Here's where we're at now. So well over the halfway point. This is on 36 count Lakeside Linens Chantilly Cream. It's a super pale pink, using Crescent Colors Wild Berries Floss 1/2. So that is coming along. It will absolutely be a finish for this year. There's no issue there. I worked a little bit on Village of Hawk Run Hollow. It was one of my WIPGO calls, February, I think. In February? Maybe January. I don't remember. So I worked on the bottom left corner. So here's where we're at now. So I finished the bottom here and then did quite a bit of the stable. So to be perfectly honest, not loving it. Not loving it. It's just DMC on 40 count. I actually bought another piece of 36 count vintage country mocha in an appropriate size to potentially restart this on the 36 count 2/2. This is 1/2 on 40 count. The coverage isn't bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, I'm just not enjoying it. I know that the 36 count will make it much larger, but if I like it better, who knows? So, thoughts, comments, anything? What do you think? But yeah, that's kind of my thinking right now, to kind of pull it back out. Maybe start in the upper left corner, so I can get a block. I mean, that block's obviously not nearly as densely stitched as the stable is, but you know, who knows? But I'm thinking I might end up restarting that. The other thing I worked on, which was also from a WIPGO perspective, was Prairie Moondyne is the trick and the treat. Of course, mine is more colorful, so here is mine. This is on 40 count Regency by Picture This Plus. I did finish I finished this page, which is where I was before, and then completed this page. So I actually completed my WIPGO goal on this, which was 3 pages. I'm using a variety of Silks for You and Dinky Dyes flosses. So that'll probably come back out to play in October for Dark October. I've also been keeping up with the linens and threads sale for this year. So if you noticed, I actually ironed most of these. I actually got the iron out for you guys, so not something I usually do. Anyway, linens and threads 2020 sale. So here's January, February, and March. This is DMC 815 on 36 count white linen. I am in love with it very much. I think this is the bottom, if I remember correctly, so I can chop off the extra linen now for once I pull it out for next month. I think I'm also going to start putting in the letters next month, since I know how many letters there are. I'm going to go ahead and start filling some in, but yeah, I love it. Love it, and I love that I'm keeping up with it, so that's even better. All right, and last of the non-March starts whips is Ink Circles, Cirque de Cirque. When we last spoke, I was pretty darn close to finishing the second page. I was like right in here. Well, I finished that page, another page, and has started, and I'm starting on the bottom 2 pages. So I've only got 2 pages left. So here we go. This is, let me see, make sure you can see. There we go. So I finished that top corner there and started working my way down. Again, this one traveled with me because it was very easy to travel with only a single color. This is on Picture This Plus Ariel in 32 count using Sulky 12 weight blendable in a variegated blue-green. You can kind of see the variegation, light blue, dark blue, a little bit of green in there. So it's coming along like, it's really close. So it'll come back out soon. If not, when I start traveling again, because again, it's so easy to go with me with just the single color, and it's actually easy to work on the plane because I have the individual pages and I just magnet them to my whip and I just go. And I can actually work it without a magnifier, which is pretty amazing. All right, so 7 starts for March. You already saw one, Earthly Treasures. So let's see what else. Most of these are small. My goal was to try to pick things that from designers that I didn't already have a project on, that was not already in the whip pile. I never planned for 31 because I didn't start this until like a week into March. But I probably have about 20 kitted that I could pick and choose from. A lot of these have been in my stash for years, and they've been sitting kitted in my stash for years, so for the most part. So first is Little House Needlework, Red House in Winter. This is from the Ornament series, and I don't know, a few years ago. So here we are, have the house done, and then I've got some of the white going on. Originally, the house was the only specialty floss. This is Crescent Color or Classic Colorworks Being Cherry, but I actually converted all of the other color, and the rest were supposed to be DMC. I mean, you can see there's the list, right? But I went ahead and pulled specialty flosses for all of them because I have them to use them. So that's fine. That's a good one. This is actually gets. I can work on this during the day when I'm on calls. It's a 30 count linen, so it makes it easy. All right, so the next one that oh my gosh, I've had this forever. Bayside, I mean, this was a 2009 special release, and I probably got it in 2009. Country Cottage Needleworks Speyside Bungalows. It's on a 28 count fresco from Picture This Plus. Here's where we're at. It's all done in Crescent Colorworks. I worked on in the hotel and on the plane. Hands-on design, one of the flapjack and short stack series from last year, 2018. So Where Liberty Dwells. I'm doing the flapjack pillow for this one. So here's where we got in a couple days. Again, it's all Classic Colorworks, and it's on the call for, which I think is Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie Parchment. So it's on parchment linen, and this piece of linen is big enough to do both. I just started with the pillow because it was easier to count that sitting in a hotel room. All right, that one last. All right, so this one is Birds of a Feather Alphabet Sampler. This is on Color and Cotton. Color and Cotton Stratus Lugana 32 count. There it is. I picked my own colors to go with the linen. The variegated is Gloriana Seaweed. The dark purple and the pale green are both Silks for You colors from the Silk of the Month stuff. But it just worked really well with the Gloriana Seaweed. I'm really liking this. This was my March Madness started, and then I worked on it last night. You can see how far it's gotten. So, alright, so this is another one that's really close. This is Bendy Stitchy's Raw Mad here, Alice's Mad Plant. Another piece of Color and Cotton Mudslide. Here's where we're at. This was like last Sunday, I think, or 2 Sundays ago. I also did it all in Color and Cotton threads. I pull Color and Cotton threads. So I just have the words and some other fill-in to do. So that's pretty darn close to being a finish. If I don't finish it this weekend, I'll finish it probably during the week. So that was good. And then last, but certainly not least, is a chart that I got after Nashville Market. So even though this wasn't technically a Nashville release, I didn't actually find this particular designer until I saw Nashville stuff. So this is Lost Souls Cemetery from Autumn Lane Stitchery. So I bought this on their Etsy store, which I'll link down below. It's the PDF. I mean, we're talking 6 colors is all it is. 6 colors. And here's the start. And this is amazing. This is on Picture This plus Whirlpool in Cashel. I love it. 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 You can see. So all of that pale blue background back here, that's fabric. So this is the called for fabric. So it's amazing and I love it. So that's all the stuff that I have been working on, which is obviously metric ton of stuff, but it's been 3 months. Now I've also bought some things. I'm not going to show everything that I bought because number one, that would be another 30 minutes. But secondly, I still have one market order that is due to arrive this week. So I'll hold all the market stuff and do it in a couple weeks when I have it all together. I tend to spread the love, I try to spread the love when I do market stuff. I bought a lot of stuff this year for market, which is unusual for me. But hey, what the heck. So I'm also, being good and starting a bunch of stuff. And I still have at least a half a dozen more things that are kitted and ready to go from a start perspective that I'll probably work in over, if not the rest of this month. I'll just continue as I finish things. I'll just whatever screams at this point. Too much uncertainty and craziness in the world, and I got a whole lot of stuff that I want to do, so I'm going to do it. So yeah, one more market order. I did go to the attic market day and bought stuff there. I purchased from another brick and mortar shop that I usually order from on the East Coast. I bought a couple things from Teresa Vanette, Kitten Stitcher, and I even got something from a brand new shop that I had never used before, Jen's Stitching Niche. Oh my gosh, that was like the fastest thing to arrive. So I did my best to spread the love. I did get one thing in the mail from that I am hoping to start. So I've got here the 3 or 4 things that I'm still hoping to start, if not this month, but in the next few weeks. So I'll show you those in lieu of a huge amount of haul, which we'll hold for next time. So the first thing is Hallow Sampler from the Primitive Needle. Miss Abby and I did a trade, so I am looking forward to doing this. I plan to do it on some 40 count using some Silks for You silks. So I haven't pulled the fabric or the threads yet, but I'm thinking that'll be a task for tomorrow. The next thing that's on my list, again, these are all things that I've had well, some of this I've had forever. This one I've had since it came out. Little House Needleworks, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Again, I have pretty much a full collection of crescent colors, so I'm not worried about that. I need to pull threads and figure out what fabric. Again, probably on tomorrow's list. I'm also really interested in starting a summer sampler from Cooler. I have all the seasons, but this is the one right now that is the most appealing. So this may get a start. This is Awesome Pattern Studio Phoenix. Well, this is on my start, in my, what's it called? Immediate radar. It's on my immediate radar. All right, now the last piece has been in my stash for many, many, many years, and that is Quaker Garden from Blackbird Designs. Now, I have it. I got it kitted, pretty much, almost all 100% kitted. So I've got floss, right? Here's the floss. Now, the white that it calls for is shaker white, which I don't, to me it's like shaker gray, which I don't like it. So I did get, I have toasted marshmallow to do the white. I do have the fabric that was originally called for, which is this. This is a 30 count weeks, and it's weeks. It's old weeks because, oh my gosh, it's like paper, right? But I have a piece of Silkweaver Purely Primitive, which I think is going to be a better choice. You tell me. I'm thinking that's a better option. Even the white looks good. So yeah. So those are the things that are still on the list to get started at some point. I might break down, start one tomorrow. I don't know. Might be Monday. We'll see. I'm working from home this week again. My work is actually going to start speeding up, thank God, after 7 weeks of training and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, but it's still a lot better than getting on a plane and losing half a Sunday and Thursday. So yeah. So that's it. So you're caught up on finishes. You're caught up on whips. You are caught up on kind of the sort of evolving ideas that are coming up and where things are. So hope everyone is doing well, and look forward to talk to you hopefully in a couple weeks. Of course I say that and it won't happen, but you know what I mean. Hey, I'm here for you. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Bye.